Okay, welcome back to another amazing, funny, and hilarious, scintillating. That word is brought to you by the Best Man Holiday episode of The Shift Show. I'm Kayla, your host, who is getting sick and tired of her job, but I gotta keep it to keep giving you guys stories. I gotta give the people what they want. Have a seat, grab a drink. Let's get ready for this wild ride. Oh my God. So before I start, I let me give a little bit of life update because it's like two, but it's technically one. So I randomly decided, I like literally woke up one day and I was like, I'm gonna train for the LA Marathon. I don't know what it is about being in your like mid to late 20s because I'm gonna be 25 this year, but something about either going to grad school or running a marathon. The girlies and the gays and the guys love doing one of those things, and I already have a master's degree, so I mean I could get another, but I'm not. Who could afford that? But I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. Something about doing something that, like, only 13% of Americans have a master's degree, and less than 1% of people have run a marathon. Something about being different, I don't know, tickles my brain. I eat that shit up. I'm like, you know what? Hell yeah. But, bitch, I ran a motherfucking 5K this weekend. Why did it pour? And, like, I don't mean just okay, y'all know, I live in LA. We are very dramatic about the rain. But when I tell you it poured, I heard it hitting cars. It was pouring during my entire. I'm over here like, yeah, let me get this little training in for this marathon. Let me start now because apparently it takes 5 to 6 months to train. I'ma just stretch that out to be at my tip top shape. Ran my little 5K, pouring. It was pouring so hard to the point I wear lash extensions. I had my eyes closed because they were like weighing down my lashes. Right? And my impulsive ass was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna run a 5K before going to work." I still went to work. Yes. I did not call out. I ran my 5K from 8 to like 8:50. Um well, I walked because it was pouring and I was not about to slip. But 8 to 8:50, got home about 9:15, 9:20, went to sleep, went to work at 3, from 3 to 11:30. You know what? Being in your 20s really do be lit because I don't think I would do that in my 30s. We're going to hope that I'm less impulsive in my 30s. Nonetheless, that was my only life update that I'm training for this marathon. And I'm actually not having a good time because I hate running. And I'm hoping that by the time I'm able to run a half marathon in about, let's just fingers crossed, 4 or 5 months, I enjoy it. But as of right now, I still kind of hate it. Anyways, I told my best friend that I was running it, and he was like, I think you're just ambitious. And like, part of me is like, you know what? Yes. But the other part is like, I'm also just crazy and impulsive. So, yeah. So, that was the only life update. But it should be a fun one. I'm going to keep updating you guys every week. So, you'll hear about it. Anyways, like I said, like I was talking about my best friend, we're literally two peas in a pod. However, it wasn't always like that. I started working um retail in 2020, like November 2020. The store I had worked at originally before I was promoted opened October of 2020, so I got hired less than a full month of it being open. Um, there I met my best friend, but like, so I was working November to August consistently, took a 4 month break to go back to school and finish, and then came back in January. From November to August, I used to only open. That was my shift. I don't know what happened. I was like so loyal to my 7 to 3, my 8 to 4, and then became super, super loyal to a 2 to 10:30. And now I'm back loyal to my 8 to 4 and would rather die than close. So, like, I had to close this weekend, and I'm like, ugh, hate it here. Anyways, so I would like close like once in a while, like maybe like every other week, like on a weekend, maybe. Like I was not closing for real. So I was literally not friends with my best friend yet. We obviously like knew of each other. Funny enough, he trained me. Um, he and I didn't become friends until like maybe like March of 2022. Um, but he would like ask me to hang out and I'd be like, no. like not even trying to be a bitch, but I was like, bro, I'm not gonna make friends with this little retail job. I don't regret that because, love him down. We are literally two peas in a pod, four lifers, all of that. However, the people I did meet through him, yeah, fuck them. Well, fuck one of them. I'm just not really friends with another one. And then I'm still friends with another one. So, I mean, fuck that one girl though. But like I said, we became very close very fast. We decided to go to Disneyland one day in March. I ended up getting a pass. I actually think we went to Disneyland in like February. I ended up getting a pass, and then our friendship was born. Literally, I still have a Disneyland pass to this day because of him. We actually haven't been all month, and we need to change that. Well, the freaking month is almost over. We'll go next month. But nonetheless, I'm like, okay, we are literally four lifers. I friendship so hard. He and I are going to the fair with my cousin next weekend. Like, we're in this forever. If he doesn't want to be friends anymore, he should have luck. So, yeah, I became best friends with him. And then someone else that we worked with, was like, oh, the next time, like, you go to Disneyland, let me know. He invited her, mind you. I don't know this girl. Like, I know her name and I know the department she works in, but that's literally it. I don't know this girl. I think I've had maybe 2, 3 interactions with her. Okay, so he invited her and I'm like, okay, sure. I barely know her, but like, I'm cool. Like, that's fine. So we ended up going with her. I hung out with her for the first time, which hanging out with her for the first time there, kind of crazy. Whatever. However, that's my girl. Love her down. Cool as fuck. Whatever. We became friends. We became besties there. She ended up getting a pass too. The issue came. The issue started. I don't even know if I should phrase it like that. The issue was actually the person. But okay, so she had a bestie who also worked at the store, who she went to Disneyland with her, like they went like separately. Invited her to go with us. I knew this girl didn't like me. Mind you, I have stories about this girl like crazy. However, that girl just talked about me. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever, I'll let it go. Maybe we become friends. We became friends, comma, sorta. Um, I don't really know how much I should say, but I think I should just still. This is my story too, so it's fine. We became friends, kind of, sorta. Like to this day, I'm willing to say that I'm still a great friend. Like I'm a great friend to everyone, no matter what. Like I don't care how close we are. I'm still gonna be a great friend to you because that's just who I am. Like literally, no matter what my friends need, I got them. Like if I have it, you got it too. Like I never cared about that. Um, this friend though, she was an interesting girl. Apparently, like people didn't like her at the store, and I was like, oh, I don't care. I don't even know her. Like she kind of had an attitude all the time, but that like I kind of brushed it off like it's okay. She doesn't have an attitude towards me, comma, I hope. And rumors spread. Maybe she wasn't really talking about me, whatever. She definitely just had an attitude. She was very nasty about a lot of things. I found out that people were wrong, but they were also kind of right, if that makes sense. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like they were wrong for talking about her. They weren't wrong in context though. Like she was a mean girl. Like and like I hate that I was like friends with somebody who could be called a mean girl. Like, oh, that is not the girly that I am. Anyways, we became kind of friends. She ended up getting promoted in 2022. Obviously, like very happy for her. We still weren't really like friends, but I like went with some people to take her out for getting promoted. that was fun. That was cool. We hung out. No biggie. Like, no issue arose. She became like a closing manager, and at first I was hardly seeing her because I was still opening, and then like doing like early mid shifts, like 9 to 5, 10 to 6. Like, I was not really closing, and then I wanted to work more with my best friend, so I changed my availability to close. So that's when like I like saw more of her and got to know her, and yeah, she was very like male centered, which at 21, I was still 21 at the time, I did not realize how big of a problem that was. But now at almost 25, I'm like, oh, like that is definitely what the downfall. Well, I realized this last year when we stopped being friends. That was definitely like the downfall of our friendship. Like, I should have never been friends with her because of how male centered she was. It was just like little stuff like, oh, why can't I find anyone? How does so and so have a man, but I don't? Just like little stuff like that. But I literally should have kept this as like a work friend and not like oh, we're gonna hang out outside of work too. And if we did hang out outside of work, it should have been like, after work we're going to get some food. That's what I should have kept it at, and I didn't. This girl used to be at my house. We hung out. So fast forward 2023, I want to say like summer of 2023. Our previous HR, this is like past all the like, I don't know if you guys remember, but in like the second episode I mentioned how like I was like the topic of a group chat. This is like past all of that. So our previous HR ended up getting promoted. So they moved this friend I had from closing manager to HR manager. And again, this is like, I definitely should not have been her friend simply because she was HR. Like, that was not, I shouldn't have done that. So she okay, again, she's like still like centering men. Men are like the only thing that's on her head, and in her head, I mean, on her head too, shit. But she wasn't a very good HR. Like, I think it was more so she was concerned with how people viewed her versus like doing a good job, if that makes sense. But I don't know. I was like kind of thinking, I'm like, I don't really know like when our friendship took a turn, and I know that my friends that are listening, I'm like, bitch, that girl was never your friend. So that's probably what the issue is. However, her being HR really transpired a lot of things. So in 2024 is when that's when we started being friends, in like June or July. It was like July, because I was like in the process of getting promoted. So 2024 and like early 2024, like January, February, she would call me names. I get called fat, I get called ugly, literally at work. And I'm like, oh, okay, we would have like disagreements outside of work, and her only response would be, okay, I'm not going to schedule you anymore at work. Or like we would have disagreements at work, like literally like stupid stuff, like not like disagreements per se, but like, yeah, I guess you could call it like disagreements, whatever. Just like little like, we're friends. I'm in my head, we're friends, and we're just like arguing as friends. I do that with my best friend. I do that with like we're not like fighting, but we're just like also not agreeing on everything. Her response would be, okay, I'm gonna take you off the schedule. Okay, I'm gonna write you up, like little stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, not like. And here's the thing, me and my friends like play around, and if she'd have been like, bitch, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you, I'd have been like, that would have made more sense than been like, oh, I'm gonna have you written up. Like, I'm trying to get promoted. Why? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I have this to pay for. Why are you talking about you're not gonna schedule me anymore? Like, that was some weird shit. So I'm like, or like, not even like I'll slap the shit out of you, because that's still like too much. Like, but like me and my best friend do be like, do you want to fight? Yes or no? Like stuff like that. Like, like you can tell when your friends are playing, you can tell when they're not, and that bitch was never fucking playing. All she would do was talk about me and talk about like essentially like not wanting me to work there. So I had gone through a breakup in January. My heart was broken, going through a lot. I my girlfriend's listening. Anyways, me and my girlfriend didn't start dating until December of 2024. But after my heart was healed, after I continued therapy, I was like, Bitch, I'm outside. I don't give a fuck. I was literally like doing me. I'll just keep it like that. I'll keep it like that for my family listening. But I was doing me. Let's just say that. Safely, of course. But nonetheless, I was doing me. Also, I was some fine shit. I was a bitch who was in grad school. I had money. I was just that girl. Like, real, I was just that girl. And niggas knew that. So I had niggas buying me food at work, buying me flowers, like, cause I graduated in May from grad school, buying me flowers, taking me out. Like, I was literally just that girl. I had the sauce. Okay. That's how I put my girlfriend. Um, but I was like telling her, like, oh, like, I never like took real interest into these men. Realistically, like, I didn't have any I never wanted to be with any of them. Never. But I would tell her and be like, oh, like, this is who I'm talking to. Like, we're just texting. Nothing's going to come from it. We're just cool. We're just homies. Stuff like that. Like, whatever. She'd be like, she would just, like, say little stuff like, oh, how do you know he doesn't have a girlfriend? That's not my business. If he has a girlfriend, why is that concerning me? He told me he didn't. I'm going to go with that. Oh, you're going to get played. How do you get... And she would say things like, how do you find these men? And not like, girl, where are you finding these men at? Because I can't find them. But like, how do you specifically get all these guys? I like knew that was a problem, but I never really addressed it because I'm like, I'm gonna let it go because I find men and you don't. Like, this is actually starting to upset you. So what did I do? I poked the horse. I literally kept upsetting her. But like, also because like, you're supposed to be my best friend. Like, I'm supposed to be able to tell you whatever because you're my best friend. Whatever. So fast forward to like June-ish, like May, June, whatever. So I graduated. I had a graduation party like 2 weeks later, or like a week later, whatever. She was like 2.5 hours late, but whatever. She was 2 hours late to my birthday party the year before, so I didn't expect much. But she was like 2.5 hours late. And like the vibe was just off. She was barely talking to me. She was not. I don't even think she said hello to my family, which like obviously most of my family was there, so I didn't expect that. But like she sat down at a table with like my cousin and then like my 4 best friends from Monterey, like that I met in undergrad, and I don't even think she acknowledged them, which another red flag. But our friendship was just like not it. There was just something in the air. There was just something going on. So fast forward, like I don't know what transpired between like my best friend and her, and then another friend at the store and her. I don't know what happened, but they were fucking sick of her, and they were like, "Oh, I don't know what the fuck her problem is," and I was like, "Why don't we just talk to her, guys?" I was literally trying to be the mediator, like, why don't we just talk to her? They're like, "No, fuck her." Oh, wait a minute, I'm missing something. They told me what happened, and I'm like, okay, we could still just talk to her and see where that gets us. Nobody wanted to talk to her, and I'm like, we can't just all not be friends with her. She's not gonna have any friends here, and I'm gonna feel bad for her. They're like, fuck her, I don't care. Okay. So what did I do? Like the kind person I try to be every day, I was like, it's fine. Not that she didn't do anything to me, but also like, let's talk. So I was still talking to her, and they're like, fuck that bitch. Okay, cool. Let me see what's tea. Let me see if she tells me anything. So I would talk to her, she'd ignore me. Okay. I would literally try to talk to her about work. She'd ignore me. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but like I didn't do anything to you. And I'm kind of hoping you didn't do anything to me. Not anything more, because you're already calling me like ugly and fat. Like we're already there. So I hope we're not doing anything more. These bitches are mad at you. Like our friends are mad at you. Not me. But she was like not talking to me, ignoring me, and I'm like, you know what, cool, you got it. Like, you don't want a friend no more. So I just stopped talking to her too. She randomly texted us one day in our group chat, and she was like, I'm so drunk. You guys, I'm so sorry for whatever I did. I didn't mean it. Can we just all go back to being friends? One of my friends responded and was like, we'll just talk later. And then she was like, you know what, fuck it, I can keep it professional. And I was like, girl, she just said we could talk later. This conversation needs to happen when you're sober. And then she was like, no, fuck it. If y'all want me to be professional, I can do that. So I texted her separately because I'm like, you're losing your mind. I was like, hey, I just wanted to tell you, like, no one's mad at you. Well, I'm not mad at you. But like, if you want to talk, we can talk. You just need to be sober and at home and not like out. And she's like, no, fuck you guys. If you guys don't want to be my friend, that's fucking fine. I'll be fucking professional. Okay, bitch, you got it. Cool, right? Literally found out the next day that I got promoted. Right? I was like, okay, I actually don't have to deal with you bitches never again no more. I don't mind. So she said she was keeping me professional. She's fucking HR. I needed something fixed with my schedule. I don't actually remember what the fuck I needed. But I was like, hey, can you do. She ignored me. Okay. I would walk in the room, like, I was raised right. I would walk in the room and be like, oh, hey. Like, just hello. Like, I blanket hello. She'd ignore me. The fuck happened to professional? I could have got that bitch. Like, I could have literally done a whole lot. I could have sent several complaints, but it didn't matter because I was leaving. And my best friend also quit. So I'm like, whatever. That girl is the reason my best friend quit that job. And he told her manager. So I don't know if anything came over that, but yeah, that was an experience. And let's just say I got lucky with my best friend. However, I wasn't always as lucky because, again, I was the top of the group chat with bitches I was friends with. Well, we weren't really like friends then, but we used to be friends. But I'm like, damn, you bitches was talking about me and I didn't even do nothing. So one thing I have learned is that retail do not be breeding friends. And I literally want to be friends with some of my coworkers so bad, but it's just like, I don't, I don't think I got that in me right now because I was done dirty. Like, it was bad. I was done so dirty by that girl. I did so much for her, and not even like I'm not even the type of bitch to count favors. I'm really not. But also like we would hang out, like we would go like out to dinner, and we'd be sitting there for hours, like waiting to pay because didn't nobody want to pay the bill. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here no more. I would love to go home. Pay the bill will never get paid back. Oh, I'll pay you back. Da da da. Mind you, like I said, she got promoted before I did. I knew how much she made. And we get raises every year. I knew how fucking much she made. I don't know. Making retail friends is all fun and games until you're an HR complaint your damn self. Because bitches love to, I don't know what it is about retail, but retail literally, between retail and like being a nurse, breeds the meanest bitches ever. And I don't know if people are like miserable with their lives, but I was literally like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I literally come into work now, like, for my coworkers that like listen, they know I literally come into work like, hey besties, hey Pookie. That's literally what I say to some of these team members. Because I'm like, why the fuck do I need to come in here being miserable, like not having a good time? Because this is just a job. Like, there are pros and cons to working in retail, and I try to think more so of the pro aspect. I can list a shit ton of cons. For what? It's not worth it. But that girl was so miserable at work and outside of work. She wanted a man so bad she couldn't find one. Probably because they could smell the desperation reeking from her. But I literally feel like you cannot be a good friend if you're like centering men. Like, I feel like that was literally like the downfall of our friendship because she could not not center men. She couldn't stop centering men from her life. But with that being said, we're gonna take a quick break because trust me, I got more where this came from. Okay, we're back. I can't really remember what I was saying, but that girl was not my friend. And like, okay, I've cut friends off before, and usually I'm like pretty sad about it. When I cut her off, I felt so much better, and it like, I knew that the relief I was feeling was also a sign like, wow, this was not your friend. There are literally, I have so many stories where I can be like, what the fuck were you thinking? Because that girl was not my friend. And I like sit and I think about like the friendship I've cultivated with my best friend, who I know he's listening, so hey Pookie. But I think about like that friendship all the time, and I'm like, again, like I said earlier, we friendship so hard that he's gonna hang out with me and my cousin this weekend. We friendship so hard. He's like sat in my house, like we've like hung out for real. Like we are four lifers at this point. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna. That motherfucker is talking about moving to Florida next year, and leaving your best friend is fucking crazy. Ignoring the fact that he's leaving his family too, but leaving your best friend is crazy. You made a friendship, a best friend in adulthood outside of college. and you're gonna move, crazy work, but I'll let it go. I'm gonna let it go for right now. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna drive with him cross country for him to move. Like, we are literally four lifers at this point, and I'm like, wow, I would have never done that. Or, actually, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I was dumb. I probably would have done that for her. But that bitch would have done that for me. And I feel like the way you can, like, a litmus test for a friendship should be like, would they pick you up from the airport / drop you off from the airport? Exactly. My best friend lives 5 minutes from the airport and literally has offered, I would have just taken you. Dude, you live down the street and I don't. I'm not going to ask you for that. But I have picked up my cousin who lives not close, like 30 minutes from me, and I live 15 minutes from the airport. I picked her up and taken her to the airport multiple times. Like, that's just, I mean, that's the kind of bitch that I am, okay? And that girl was never that kind of bitch. All she wanted was a fucking man. And the man she was fucking on didn't want her. And, like, do I feel bad for her in that aspect? Yes, but also, dating apps exist. I'm a firm believer in a dating app. Cool as fuck. But also, like, I don't know. I just feel like dogging on your friend because men want her is not the course of action we should have taken. Like, I feel like that's like psychotic. Anyways, nonetheless, I have rid myself of that friendship. It sucks because I do think I lost like a lot of friends like with that. Like, I really am like kind of sad that of how many friends I lost because I decided to not be friends with her. But also, like, I don't know. I want to say, like, why would I be friends with people who would choose her, like, side? But, like, also these people are definitely not choosing her side. They're just choosing to keep their relationship with her. But I don't know. I feel like if I had a friend who was also friends with, like, a really close friend of mine and they, like, were getting dogged out by this person, I wouldn't be friends with them. But that's just who I am. And I can't expect that from everyone. And, like, was I hurt that in the process I lost, like, 4 friends? Yes. But also, like, these were, like, work friends. I don't even work at that location no more. How likely would it be that I'm still friends with them? And it's been almost a year since I've been promoted. I think it's been, like, 8, 9 months. It's actually been closer to 10 months. But nonetheless, like, what are the odds that we would still be as close as we were? Like, this is literally, like, how I feel about high school friendships. Like, these people, like, I literally have one friend from middle school. And other than that, I, like, talk to people here and there from high school, but, like, not really. Because I was friends with them because of proximity. I was friends with the people at work because there's, like, a group of 10 people who, like, hated on fucking everybody. And I feel like we bonded over that. But other than that, like, we weren't, like, I think I took the friendship more seriously than they did. Which, like, also hurts to say, but also, like, I learned that lesson in my 20s. Like, I was 23, 24. I was, like, 24 when I learned that lesson. So I'm like, okay, like, that's just what life is. And I'm glad I learned that lesson now and not 20 years from now. So, kudos to fucking retail, I guess. But I feel like, okay, making friends at work works when you don't work retail. I think. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But, like, okay, like I said, my friend is hanging out with me and my cousin this weekend. My cousin is not my cousin. I know her because our moms work together. They did workers' comp for years together. We met when we were like 4 and 5, aka we've been friends for over 20 years now. That's my girl. Like, I see her more often than I see my actual family. Like, that is my bitch. Like, that cousin, that's my dog. So I'm like, I just feel like friends in the workplace don't work in retail as often as they could if you worked like an office job, a 9 to 5, whatever. I feel like retail, like, really makes or breaks a person, and the way that you get treated at your retail job can transpire into your friendships. Beyond those friendships that, like, I really do miss, like, genuinely, but, well, not the girl that was calling me ugly fat, not her. But like the other ones I lost in the process, like yeah, like I hope they're doing great. Truthfully, I actually hope that girl is doing great too. Like I don't wish any ill intent on her, but she's not a good friend to me, and I hope she's a better friend to people that she's friends with right now. That's all I'm gonna say though. But beyond that, like making friends in retail is I'm not gonna say it's hard because you're spending 30, 40, shit, the way that I work, especially during the holiday season, upwards of 50, 55 hours with these same people. You're gonna be like, you're gonna start talking. Unless you're a fucking weirdo, which I've worked with a bunch of those, so yeah. But like, retail's messy. Like, people can be cool 1 minute, and the next minute, like, they're gonna throw you under the bus for some shit that you weren't even at work for. Speaking from experience, people would try to throw me under the bus all the time, and I'd be like, I wasn't even scheduled that day. What the fuck are we talking about? Or like, my favorite thing used to be, so I am not a bitch that calls off. Like, I have to, like, because of COVID, I am now more, I don't know how to phrase that. I am now more likely to call off if I'm sick. I never really used to do that. Even when I was in school, I didn't do that. Like, I would have to miss, like, class if my arm was broken and hanging on by a singular tendon. Like, I did not miss class. I did not miss work. That is literally me. I think in 2024, I called off twice. I don't think I was sick either time. But, like, still, like, you know, I called off twice. I think I was literally sick of them. I can tell you that much. But I am not a girl who calls off, but I know that every time I would, like the 2, 3 times a year that I would, it would always be an issue. Like with, obviously not like with management because, oh, this girl only had 3 call offs in the calendar year. Like, I don't give a fuck. But I'm like, every time, the few times that I would call off, it was always an issue with my coworkers. The bitches would call off once a week and think, oh, but I was sick, I wasn't feeling good, I didn't have money for an Uber. Like, it was just stupid shit. And I'm like, I was sick. I was not feeling good. I called off once and you had an issue with it. You call off once a week and I'm just supposed to be okay with it because you couldn't afford your Uber. Like, shut up. I literally, like, people are interesting. It's literally where I'll just leave that. I don't know. Like, I do try to, like, keep it friendly, but, like, that's also, like, bitten me in the ass. Real motherfucking bad. I know I mentioned this briefly. I don't know if it was briefly, actually. I'm a fucking yapper. But I know I mentioned this previously about how, like, I blocked someone on Instagram because I didn't want them to follow me anymore. And my fucking Instagram, bitch, I don't care. This is my shit. Fuck are you talking about? You're mad that I blocked you. Like, I literally wanted to ask that girl, have we no shame? Because why are you mad I blocked you? Well, like, we were not friends enough for her to be like, why did you block me? Because, fuck are we talking about right now? But, I would literally, like, be talking to my best friend and like, oh my god, do you want to go here? Wherever we were talking about. And she'd over here and be like, how come you didn't invite me? Bitch, I don't want to hang out with you. Fuck you talking about? I'm like, girl, I'm friendly at work because I'm friendly at work. Like, this is a job. Leave me alone. I don't want to hang out. And I feel like I shouldn't have to explain that. But I was like I said, I was friendly. And for whatever reason, she would start telling me about her life, about how her and her boyfriend live with her mama and it's hard living with both of them. Girl, why do I need to know that? I don't care. Can we please push this medicine out? Shit. So, I don't know. I feel like I'd be stuck between a rock and a hard place because I can't fucking be rude, like, obviously. But, like, I can't not say anything to anybody because I'm black. People will easily, any day, like, feel the need to call you an aggressive black woman. That is another reason me and that other girl stopped being friends, because anytime she got mad at me, she would call me aggressive. And I shut that shit down every time. I'm like, bitch, do not fucking call me that. Like, your ass is fucking aggressive. You're calling me out of my name, and I'm simply telling you, I'm simply defending myself, and you want to fucking call me aggressive? And she'd be like, she was brown, but she was not black. She's like, well, I'm an aggressive brown woman. Bitch, that is not the same fucking thing, and you know it don't have the same connotation like that. Every single time I'm like, don't fucking call me that. Like, how many times I have to fucking tell you before I drive my car into your fucking house? Like, what are we talking about? I'm like, people will flip the script anytime and start calling you aggressive. And I'm not. Literally, another reason why I'm like, I'm going to come into work cheesing, because I know how people are, and I know how people who are not black are. And I don't play that. You call me aggressive, you're going to see aggressive. You're going to think like, damn, maybe I was wrong for her. And yeah, you fucking were. And I will show you aggressive now. Fuck are we talking about? But I became too nice. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but that girl wanted to be friends so bad. And when I was like, no, it was kind of an issue. So I'm like, damn, I can't be friends. Like, people, one, would complain that I was best friends with my best friend. And two, would complain that I wasn't friends with them. Mind you, they never made an effort to be my friend either. So why did I have to take the first step? I don't know. But, like, I literally could not win with these people. And, like, could it have just been the store I worked at? Sure. Will I be trying it at this store? No. The people I work with, cool as fuck. I'm like, we're cool, we vibe, whatever. I follow one person from that store. It was two, but he quit. I follow one person from that store, and I'm like, I'm cool with that. Because, like, not to shade nobody or nothing, but now when I see that you're calling out and your call out affected me, and you're posting on social media, now I'm going to have an issue with it. Because I had a peer, and I say it had because, like I said, he quit. I had a peer who would call up all the time. Motherfuckers had taking shopping sprees at motherfucking Forever 21. Lying to our manager about why he called off. No way, you just lied to her. And I saw what you were doing yesterday. What are we talking about? So, it's like hard to find social media, because please do not have me and decide, oh, I'm going to call off and post about it. No. Now I'm going to be annoyed with you. But I don't know, like, the people I work with are cool. I don't think I'm willing to risk what happened in my previous store again. And the team culture is very, very good at this current store. It is. Like, I got to give them they ones, because it is good over there. But I'm not willing to risk it. It's like, it's good. I'm good where I'm at, basically. Would I like some more friends? Absolutely. Am I willing to make them at work, though? Maybe when I stop working there, when I stop being a retail baddie, sure. But as of right now, it's a big fat no from me. But with that, we're going to take a quick break. Okay, we're back. I feel like I only talked about like the negative aspects of like attempting or trying to have friends in retail. Well, no, I started off pretty high, my best friend is my writer. But beyond that, like, having people that you're like, how do I phrase this? Because more than acquaintances, but like kind of less than friends, like you're past the quote unquote coworker. Like, you wouldn't hang out with them on your off day, but if you're both free after work, you might go get some food together. Like, I feel like there needs to be a word for that. It should be just fucking retail friends, but like, I digress on that. But like, I feel like there's so many pros to having like a friend like that, and also because I know that like previously I did not know how to differentiate like a best friend, a friend, and an acquaintance. And like, obviously I've grown, especially from my experiences previously talked about. I like know like how to navigate, like, I don't want to say like people because that sounds bad, but like how to navigate through like finding friends and things. So I mean, I know how to do that now. However, I have trauma now, so I am not trying to do that. But like with just friends, like people you're not like, oh, come to my birthday party, but you're like, oh, let's go, like we're both off, let's go to this new restaurant. Like, you know, like stuff like that. Like, you know, you have different friends for different things. That might be like a friend for that one thing. But like also having a friend in retail, like you can, what is the word I'm looking for? Commiserate together. Like, I don't know. I used to have like some insane, like, okay, do you guys remember in the first episode, I talked about this lady and her pissy denim? Me and my best friend still worked together at the time, and we went to our first break together, probably our lunches too. But we went to break together and cackled about that lady because once she was giving me the fucking blues. She was screaming at me in my department. She was like recording me. However, we were all just like, wow, I can't believe this is fucking happening right now. Like, it's just so easy. Like, somebody is always going to relate to you. Like, especially if you like usually work the same shifts, there's always going to be like, they are there to commiserate with you. And that is why you should have friends in retail, because you need that. Like, you can't go home and like vent to people who like barely have worked retail. The people I've talked to, or who I talk to about like things that happen at my job, either one, barely worked retail, or two, haven't worked retail in eons. So they're not like retail changed after the pandemic. Like, it did a full 180 and went to shit. Like, I feel like that is anywhere though. Like either like retail or fast food place. Like, we went to fucking shit after, or like during and after the pandemic. So I feel like a lot of people like don't really understand, like, wow, people are insane now. Like, us being on lockdown for what, like a year and a half for real, like lockdown for real, really impacted a lot of like things. And it impacted so many people's like ability to, one, know social cues, have social awareness, have spatial fucking awareness. Like, I just feel like people just don't get it. And when you have someone on shift who is like your friend who you usually work shifts with, yeah, that fucking eats, because now you got somebody to talk about this guest with. Like, you can talk about this person and that person and that person. In addition to that, let me just tell you, me and my best friend made every like job a 2-person job. We literally, let's say we were like, or like he was stocking candy, I was 2 stocking candy. So what? It was 1 box. We used to do stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, that actually made the job a lot easier to handle. We're talking, we're chit-chatting, but also you can't say we're not doing our job. Do we both need to be doing this? No. But we are, and it's getting done. And I know like a lot of people at our previous store, or at my previous store, because he don't work there no more, but at my previous store did like really like us. So we got away with a lot of things, but also we did our job. So I feel like that's all that matters. But I don't know. I don't plan on like attempting to, how do I phrase this? I'm gonna just say it because we're all besties here. I don't plan on like making like actual friends at the store that I'm at right now. And if it happens, it happens, but I'm actually trying to prevent that. I hate to admit it. I don't hate to admit it. But I've been traumatized. I have trauma, and there's no amount of therapy that can fix that, because I'll be damned if I let another bitch do me how that bitch that I'm no longer friends with do me. I'll be damned, okay? There's gonna be fucking wanted posters after me because I'm not playing that no more. But on that note, we're gonna read a story because I can go on about this for days. And we're going to have a part 2 next week, so it's okay. I have more to talk about, let's just say that. But we're going to read a quick story. I know that y'all be sending in crazy stuff, so I'm actually quite excited. I don't read them anymore, like before I read them live. Like, this is my live reaction. So we're going to buckle up because I'm so excited to read this story from... I actually don't have it pulled up, so I got to see who the story is from. But we'll be right back because we're going to read it right now. Okay, this story's from Evelyn. Shout out to you, girl, from wherever you're listening to. Hey, girly. She calls this, story, like, the Fitting Room Chronicles, which, one, lets me know that I'm gonna have a story, like, behind your story, if that makes sense. Like, I'm gonna have something, I'm gonna have commentary. 1, and 2, you were calling it Chronicles, I know you got stories out the wazoo. Like, I know you got plenty of them. But I love that you sent me one, so thanks, boo. So she says, one Saturday I was working, I almost said where she was working at, and like I said last story, I am not trying to get sued, copyrighted, whatever you want to call it. I ain't trying to get none of that. One Saturday when I was working at Redacted, one of my friends, also a coworker, called me in a frantic saying someone needed to check the fitting room as soon as possible. She's like, oh, I thought, okay, maybe someone left like a pile of clothing that we needed to hang, or like broken hangers, or they just left a mess, like whatever. I walked back there with like a smile on my face, only to find a literal actual turd just sitting there on the fitting room bench, not even on the floor, on the bench. Like it was placed there intentionally. And there's like commas and periods where like there didn't need to be. I know your ass is still probably upset about this. She's like, I just froze. My brain could not compute. Was this like some sort of protest? A dare? Did someone accidentally shit themselves? There was not a customer in sight, just a pile of shit. And the worst part was, I was the one who got chosen to clean it up. They gave me a pair of gloves, some paper towels, and a spray bottle of disinfectant that suddenly seemed wildly inadequate. To this day, whenever someone says retail builds character, I think about that moment and just nod silently. Because once you've scraped human shit off a fitting room bench without quitting on the spot, you can survive anything. And then she was just like, thanks for like reading my story. I hope you get to it. Girl, I would have quit immediately. I don't care what bill is due. I don't. You're not going to let me... First and foremost, I just do want to give a quick disclaimer that could have been a workers' comp claim. I know that because my mother, my aunt, several people that I know do workers' comp, and I for sure know all of workers' comp nitty-gritty details because my mother has done it for 25 years. Any job I have can play with me if they want to. Let's just say that. One, girl, what the fuck? Shitting in the fitting room... Like, leaving shit in the bathroom, like, leaving, like, a pile of shit in the bathroom that's not in the toilet is one thing. Bare minimum, we're in the bathroom. Somebody, like, took their panties off, or their underwear, because I don't know if it was a man or a woman, took their panties / their boxers off and shit in the fitting room. Baby, I hope you still don't work there. I'm assuming not, just on how she phrased it. But, baby, I hope you still don't work there. Because, again, that would have been my last day. You actively cleaning it up, I want to say something that might get me canceled, but let's just say they deserved a weapon to them. Let's just phrase it like that. Can't say that because of the climate that we're in, but y'all can probably pick it what I'm putting down. However, that would have been my last day. I would have sued them. Also, okay, I'm a manager, but I'm not like the highest level manager. But I know that I am not properly equipped to like properly trained and equipped to clean human feces. I know that. Or like bodily fluids. I know this. Meaning my manager also knows this. Meaning your manager should have too. And you should have thrown the shit at her. Literally. But that is always a manager's job. Cleaning up like bodily fluids is a manager's job. I'm not even at the level for that to be my job. So yeah. Girl. And you stayed? Like, you cleaned it up and stayed? Like, how long? Like, genuinely, I need to know how long. But nonetheless, you are a trooper, God's strongest soldier, because that would have been my last day. I wouldn't even shop there no more. Like, that's the type of shit that I'm on. But having Fitting Room Chronicles cracks me up because, side note, people would, like, shit on the wall. Well, people would smear their shit on the walls at the store I used to work at. Like, and they wanted us to clean that up. You would be, quote unquote, scheduled for a cleaning shift. Mind you, they only scheduled certain people for cleaning shift. So you would be like scheduled for a cleaning shift and have to clean up feces off the wall. And the first time that I was scheduled for one, actually the first and this was also the last time I was scheduled for one, I flat out told whoever was a manager at the time, I was like, hey, my mom does workers' comp, and I know that I am not adequately trained enough to do this, so unless you guys want me to file one, they literally took the spray bottle and the napkins and the everything out of my hand and went to do it. So jobs will take advantage of you, but they can't take advantage of me, and I hope any of my listeners now. But yeah, we had like shit on the walls all the time. Like that was like a common thing, but I don't even know if I should be saying at least it was in the restroom, because that's not true. Shit in the toilet. And don't get me wrong, we had hella transients over there, so it made sense that they were smearing there. It did not make sense. I take that back. I don't want to say I could see why either, because that's also the truth, but them doing that adds up. I'll say that. But girl, in addition to your fitting room story, why the fuck did someone take a shower in the fitting room that at the store that I used to work at? Not at this one. This one's a lot better, and we'd be able to detect that because this fitting room isn't on carpet, but the store I used to work at, their fitting room was on carpet. This lady, I was a cashier at the time. I had sold her like 8 gallons of water. I'm thinking nothing of it. She's in her it was like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. She's in her after work clothes. She had bought 8 gallons of water, some laundry detergent, and I think like an outfit, right? And I'm thinking nothing of it because, okay, have a great rest of your day. The girl who worked in the clothing area came back running and was like, she speaks Spanish, and I kind of understand Spanish just from like growing up around people who spoke Spanish, and my current friends speak Spanish. Like I just kind of like, I'm like, I can understand it a little bit. But what she said was, she told the manager, she's like, so-and-so, someone's taking a shower in the fitting room. And I turned and I was like, nah, no way you just said that. Like, there's no way I caught that. There's like, I'm literally like on one. I don't understand Spanish as well as I think I do. But no, she says it in English this time. And I was like, oh, yeah, so I did hear that. Got it. So I have pictures, but I guess she washed up in there, used the laundry detergent to clean her body because there was an ass cheek print on the bench of the fitting room. And yeah, funny enough, my best friend let her in with her basket full of water and laundry detergent. And like to this day, I do be wondering, what were you thinking? This lady didn't really have clothes. Why did you let her in there? But like, I'm not gonna victim blame. I'm not gonna blame him because I didn't clean that shit up. But I'm not gonna victim blame. But yeah, she took a shower in the fitting room, and that was something. So yeah, definitely better than shit, inarguably. But like calling it Fitting Room Chronicles, girl, shit, you could DM me because I know you got some stories that I want to fucking hear. Anyways, that's that on that. This concludes another amazing episode of The Shift Show. I have part 2 of this episode coming out literally next week, and I'm going to record extra freaking early because I'm going to go see Beyonce at the Cowboy Carter tour on Sunday, May 4th, and I know I'm going to lose my voice because I lost my voice at the Renaissance tour, and I'm a bitch who yells at concerts. I don't care. Well, yes I do, because some concerts don't like need that. But for Miss Beyonce, for Cowboy Carter, I will be screaming my ass off. So, I don't think you guys want to hear me sounding like that. Like, I'm going to sound crazy. I already know. Anyways, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, a rating, a review, all of that great and amazing things. I hope you all have a wonderful week, especially if you're working retail. We're slowly getting to, like Memorial Day, summertime, which means back to school. And I don't know about y'all, but back to school be beating my ass and I hate it so bad. So I hope we all have a great week. I hope we all get all the rest we need before the end of the year comes up, because I feel like April came and went and the rest of the year came and went. Anyways, like I said, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at The Shift Show Pod, or on my personal account, simply.kayla, all of that good stuff. And I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.